it called again? The Whereabouts of Light. That's right, The Whereabouts of Light. I wish I could play the harmonica like you, Joshua. Sadly, it's a lot harder than it looks. Compared to what it takes to use a staff, I think the harmonica is much easier. It's really just a matter of concentration. You're probably right. I guess my problem is just that if I don't do something that uses my whole body, I start to feel drowsy. Okay, playing the harmonica is fine and all, but how about getting some exercise too? All your hobbies are sitting around kind of stuff like reading and music. No girl is gonna be impressed with just that. Well, excuse me for being so unpopular with the ladies. Although, I feel like I should be the one lecturing you about your hobbies. I mean, what kind of boy wants a girl who loves fishing, collecting bugs, and has a fetish for sports shoes? Okay. If you didn't grow up in the same house, I'd classify that as bullying. But that's just siblings roasting the shit out of each other at this point. That's enough talk about hobbies for now. And for your information, I graduated from bug collecting a long time ago. Really? I'll believe that when I stop finding beetles in the hallway. Hey, Estelle, Joshua. Morning, Dad. Good morning, Dad. Is breakfast ready? It's ready and waiting. Why don't both of you hurry on down before it gets cold? Okay. I'm on my way. Thanks for the grub, Dad. Boy, am I stuffed. Are you eating or inhaling, Estelle? Like people say, kids who eat and sleep a lot grow a lot. Well, make sure you get enough to eat, but don't forget to pour that energy into your work too. That reminds me, you two are finishing up your training at the guild today, aren't you? That's right. It'll be a review of everything we've learned up to this point. And once we're finished, we'll be bracers just like you, Dad. That means I'm not gonna let you treat me like a kid anymore either. Still lack understanding, Estelle. You can only become a junior bracer in the beginning, or in other words, a trainee. If you want to be treated like an adult, then you should work extra hard in your training to become a full-fledged bracer. Well, I'm not afraid of a little hard work. Just you watch and see what I'm capable of, Dad. I'll be so successful that it won't be long before I pass you too. That's the spirit. Let's see what you're made of then, shall we? Let's not start a rivalry here, you two. And Estelle, keep your focus on the task at hand. We have a test later on today, remember? Huh? Wait, what test? Please tell me that you didn't forget about the test, Estelle. Yeah. She seems to basically just go, academics, don't need to know about that. Moving on with a lot of stuff from what I've seen so far. Or through this and the little bit of the remake. Which kind of amuses me as a personality trait, to be honest. You know, the one that checks whether or not we've mastered the skills we've been learning in training. Don't you remember Shara saying that if we failed, we'd be stuck with a ton of extra homework? Crap, totally forgot. Now that you mention it, I guess I kind of remember her saying something like that. Don't sweat it, I'm sure we'll manage somehow or other. I honestly don't know how you've survived this long, Estelle. Your brain is like a sieve. I don't actually know what that is. What's a sieve? Papa is sad. How could any child of mine end up with such a careless, over-optimistic personality? Ha! You're the one who raised me, so I definitely got it from you. I swear, the two of you act so much alike, but whatever. You'll probably head over to the guild soon, Estelle. Shara's going to be waiting there for us. It's like a plan. You know how crazy scary she gets when someone keeps her waiting. Oh, before I forget, it's my turn to cook dinner tonight. Is there anything in particular you'd like to eat, Dad? Any requests? Something I'd like to eat, huh? How about Rolent-style scalloped fish in a balsamic vinegar sauce? What's that? I think that's a little more than Estelle's cooking skills can handle. For our stomachs. You're right. I just wanted to see what kind of reaction I could get. I'll just have the usual fried fish and omelet. No need for anything fancy, but do try to make something edible. How rude, but I can't say he's actually wrong. Well, I guess we know who's the bad cook around here then, don't we? Actually, I do have one favor to ask before you head out. I'd like you to pick me up a copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods store. They're supposed to be getting the latest edition in today. Got it, one copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods store. If there's any money left over, you can have it as your allowance. However, that means no wasteful spending. Alright, thanks, Dad. Okay, we're heading out now. See you later, Dad. Work hard and give Sherazard my regards. Okay. Alright. And first order of business. I'm gonna save the game and overwrite my old save we had from there. I don't know why, but I like having Joshua in the front of my group. Or that's how I did it in the remake anyway, so I'll stick with that strategy. We'll see if I end up deciding it's worth changing later, but yeah. For now, we gotta head to town. Up this way? And yeah, top-down camera view apparently is the thing for this one. which pretty common with a lot of these sorts of games. It's from this time I find, not too early or too late. Yeah, I accidentally skipped a line of dialogue there, sorry about that. We just barely graduated from Sunday school. I never dreamed we'd have to study so hard to become bracers. Well, you're in luck. Today is our last day of training. Truth be told, though, you're the one who signed up to be a bracer in the first place. So I don't know why you'd expect to get away with any less effort. Oh yeah, I guess I did. Alright then. Let's get to it and make it through this last hazing from Shira. You look ready to me. Let's go meet with Shira at the Bracer Guild. Over there, then. Which is the red building. Thank God for map directions. There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Morning, Ina. Good morning. Oh, time to meet with the receptionist, eh? And our mentor. Is Shira here already? Yes, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you will finally be recognized as members of the Bracer Guild. Good luck to the both of you. Thanks. Do our best. And up we get. Apparently our teacher is a fortune teller. The Star and the Hanged Man. The Hermit and the Magician. And last of all, Inversion through the Wheel of Fortune. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Good morning, Shira. Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua. This is a rare occasion for the both of you to show up so early. Since my last day of training, I figured, why not? I'm ready to get this show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm, but I'm going to work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you. Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. Yeah, with her, that checks out. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head, instead of letting it dribble out your ears like it usually does. Wah, Joshua, Shira's picking on me. Don't worry, Shira. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, acts rashly, is overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything. Okay, what's the but going to be with a qualifier like that? Her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use an ornament with some practice. Eventually. Probably. Well, with the qualifiers on both ends like that, my hopes are not high. I guess there's not much I can do now, except hope for the best. Hold on a sec, Joshua. I don't know how I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me. Yeah, I get that feeling too. Probably because he wasn't. Well, that's odd. I'm positive I described all your best traits accurately. Whatever. By the way, Shira, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent. Oh, this? Just trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Fortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. Couldn't read the cards? Now that's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. So the meaning was just really cryptic, is what I'm getting out of this. I mean, I suppose it doesn't affect us personally, so maybe it won't matter and it's just something that happened. Who knows? But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we've covered in your previous training. This is the minimal level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. Okay. Would you like to know? Well, ordnance. I do know that's kind of a core mechanic, so I'd like to know how it functions in this version of the game. Ordnance are mechanical devices which operate using what is known as orbital energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and the type of quartz or process septum installed. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and other everyday products to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbital Revolution. Ah, I see. So, Industrial Revolution Magic Edition would probably be the layman's term way of looking at it. Now tell me about bracers. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region. I mean, obviously it's a little more complicated than this, but it sounds to me like the bracers are sort of like the Fighters Guild and the Elder Scrolls. They're everywhere and they help people out, and are technically supposed to be neutral in like politics and stuff. That's the impression I'm getting so far, although we'll see if that holds up as we go through the story. The Kingdom of Liberal, in which we live, sits on the western half of the Zemurian continent and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Liberal? Or liberal? I don't know. Liberal is proud to be one of the leading producers of septum on the continent and is known for its high level of technology used to develop ordnance. Ordnance technology has also been a key pillar of support for Liberal in protecting its independence, as it has contended with neighboring nations. 10 years ago, when Liberal was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive. But thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberal enjoys peace. Okay, that's everything we can ask about. And I really like how they frame that as introducing you to like the politics and backstory as reviewing for a test and things. It's a neat way to tackle that whole thing. And I like it. Let's see, since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Shara, how was today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? Since it's practical, that means you'll be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have the both of you run through everything as if this were a real bracer job. So what you're saying is there won't be any studying at a desk involved. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure to have you work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yes, that's seriously just what the doctor ordered. She thought there was going to be a written exam, didn't she? Know what I was going to do if I had to sit another day with my Tish parked at a desk. Thus I got all worried for nothing. Oh, suddenly you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have at it. Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you will be performing. But before that, there's something that we need to give the both of you. I know. Are they ready? Yes, they are.